Welcome everyone to today's Sacred Conversation with Vanessa Sabatini, and she loves to be called Ness. I had the pleasure of meeting Ness just recently on a beautiful retreat down in the south of Western Australia, and her excitement and enthusiasm for herbs and plants, because she calls herself the art of plants and herbs distillation, really ignited a fire in me from about nearly 30 years ago when I fell in love with aromatherapy, and I had lost contact with that through my own what's happened for me. It ignited something in me, and I really want her and Ness for you to come in and share what is this about for you, your passion, because your joy lit me up. It lit the room up when you talked about it. So welcome, Ness, and let's get started.
Hello Chantal. Good to see you again, and thank you for having me here today. Yes. So my journey with the plant distillation was quite unexpected. I always loved plants. I grew up on being medicated by plants by my mom, because she was not a herbalist. She didn't do any studies at all, but she just enjoyed gardening and enjoyed healing us with plants and homeopathy. I don't know if that's the name in English. Yes. So I always grew up around plants and gardening. And about 2.5 years ago, when I lost my home and my job in Dunsborough, where I used to live, with the whole situation at the start of all of this, I just moved down in the country, which is in Newlands, between Donnybrook and Bellingham. And I had a little cottage there to refurbish that was quite run down, and a big garden that was wild and not much in it, and started to work the land, and it felt like it saved my life to be there and to be outdoor, being far from family, having borders shut. It was a scary time to be away and separated, and feeling this loneliness and separation. And I found this refuge in nature, really, in the plant. Many people will have gone through this and probably have gone through what I have gone through. It was challenging, but it was also so healing in a way, to be so near nature, and just this survival instinct that you receive when you are just in front of yourself, there with yourself and nothing and no one around, really.
Yes.
So it was very interesting to see how we can cope, because you do have traumas. We all have them from childhood, and this and that, and ancestral trauma, and then you get to this shocking situation that, of course, you were not expecting, and you deal with it, because that's what we do, human beings, animals as well. We just deal with it. And so I started distilling when I went through a few plant medicine ceremony journeys, and I think that has opened this path to me as well. I went one day to a meditation that was through the scent. So it was with a copper distillation happening there with a few plants. And I just had this burst of something happened inside of me, and it was very strong. And it was really like, I've got to do this. I have to do this. Yes. I have to do it. And it wasn't thinking of any sorts of business idea or anything like that. It was just like, this is my life savior. I want to do this. And then I started to train online, go check courses, be interested, reading books. I just started there, and I could do that and working in the farms next door. So it was very, I was in this bubble at home between work, which was really next door. So it was just home and work and do this really. And so, that's how it happened. And I bought slowly equipments to be able to do it myself, and connected with plants in my garden, and especially one which was a big rosemary tree. It's a tree, it's got a trunk, it's probably 30-40 years old, and it's got a trunk that size, and it's got this beautiful energy, and all the bees are feasting on it when it's in flower, and it's just like it's the mother of the garden, really. So sorry, lots of talk. I'm just
no, it's good. And I'm interrupting you because that's what's excited me, everyone. This is what excited me about meeting Ness. And two things I'd like to say that Ness has forgotten, because I know her. She's actually Italian, but was brought up in Belgium. So that's the history where she felt separated, and where she's living now. Now, Dunsborough was on the southwest on the beach, and the beautiful area she's in is this most incredible Australian bushland, but it's a little bit similar to England. So you really are surrounded by this most incredible nature. So just to give little people context, because we forget that we people who are going to watch this could be anywhere in the world. And also your accent, because I know I get very curious. What is your accent? Where are you from? And people actually say, well, actually, I'm Australian. Yeah, so I like to know that.
That is the question that triggers. I know, because I had a conversation with a friend who is French, and she's here also for 10-15 years, and she had a massive tantrum on the weekend saying, I can't stand it anymore, Australian keep asking me where's my accent from, when I'm just talking for 5 seconds and they have to ask. And then we talked about it, because it's I know it's curiosity, and most of the times it's lovely, but sometimes it gets, so we try to not talk about it, but it's beautiful. Of course, you want to know where people are from. So yes, I was born in Belgium from an Italian migrant family, and they so I grew up in this Italian culture, Italian food, Italian everything, Italian dramas, Italian. So a very close family. So I've been a bit the black sheep of the family, going away so far and being adventurous. And my family is halfway between Italy and Belgium, but I grew up very much with the Belgian culture, which I absolutely love and miss as well. So yeah, my heart is a bit everywhere.
Yeah, it's tall. And also here, and yet here you are in Australia. And I know this is going to digress a bit, but when I saw you come on and I saw your lovely cabinet behind you with all your plants, and see, look, I have showed, that's it. This is what it's about. This is what, this is you, and you coming into who you are. Isn't that beautiful, everyone? I just love. So let's come back to something. I wrote a couple of things down, because I love what you said, is I have to do this, because so many of us have this yearning yet don't do it. Tell me more about, or ask more about that, because you also talked about survival instinct. Okay, because you're on your own. So tell me, did these come together? What was this I have to do it? What was deep within you?
Oh, look, I'm not too sure. It just happens. I don't really have big explanation. This is just something that your own nature, I think, just talking to you, well, that was the case. It's just this call for it, and I guess the plants, trees, and nature helps. If you open to it, it does help. It wants to help. It feels like it was signed to me. We want to help. We are here, and kind of yelling, hey, we here, just just work with us, just be with us. So I don't really, I don't know the analysis surrounding it. I just know that this was when you have these feelings, I'm a person of feelings. I think I don't especially have the right words for things I want to say, but I know that it's all about what my body feels, and it's really strong. And if I have my heart that beats really fast, and I get all these heat waves, and I know there is a reason for it. And if something is just right there talking to me, then usually I can't ignore it. It's just stronger. It's just stronger than me. And I think, so yeah, that this is sometimes in life these kind of things bring you to a situation. In my life I've had situation where I follow my heart and follow this instinct, where I end up in tricky situations, and sometimes it's just marvelous. It's just amazing. So I guess it's always a risk, it's always taking risks. But if you don't, then you know, I think the body will tell you, and you,
Yeah.
yeah, if you are like me, the body will get sick and not happy.
Yeah. Look, and I agree with you, Ness. And this is what I loved about it and why I asked. Because I think a lot of us don't know how to then act on it. So you just knew it was in your body. As you said, it was inexplicable. But somehow I feel, and from having met you personally, it was like you connected with the plants, like nature knew that about you. That's like you were like the chosen one, without sounding, that sounds perhaps a bit corny or whatever, because it knew that you would actually act on it. See, a lot of us can get these moments, but we go, oh no, it's too hard, too risky, not really. But you acted on this, Ness.
Yeah, the survival as well. While you say that, I just thought about it in a sense that it was tricky, and it's still tricky financially, very hard. I'm I'm happy because that's the life I want to lead. But in saying that, it is risky because it's hard to even have a roof and have food on the table, and that's where the survival instinct comes in. Is like, what do I need? What I need to eat, and it's better if I actually do have a bed and I actually do have a roof, and I'm not someone materialistic, which I think it's great because then I don't need right now anyway. You know, at this stage of my life, I don't need much, but you know, it's always this, you know, you the safety and security is important. It's important to be safe. So yeah, it's about being able to be okay with risking that as well, in a way.
Oh yeah, because again, how many of us, and I'd like, anyone who's listening to really think about, could you really do this, what Ness has just done? I don't think I could have. I took other risks and adventures, but mine was also, I needed to have the money. So I really appreciate what you're saying here. But I think also you are so tuning into what you need, which I think is something that's needed in this world, particularly right now, because we've lost sight of what we need. We do what we think is the right thing. Yet here you are going down this path. Which I think that takes courage, Ness, what you're doing, because the way you talk about it, it sounds easy, but it's such a passion in you. It's so strong in you. It's like you can't do anything else, otherwise you would be sick. Have you ever been sick? Have you ever?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course, I have. And that's for not really listening to what I should be doing. And yeah, so, but yes, I have. And this is the thing, is I had lots of health issues, and they were quite serious. And you know, at some point you're so what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? My life. And that's pretty much everything. So so what, you know, might as well enjoy it while it lasts, because it's only a little part of it, this life on earth, I think. So yeah. Yeah.
And I think something you're saying is, and I'm hearing this too, sometimes you have to hit that moment of seriousness, like they said, like rock bottom. So for you, it was this, sometimes that's what we have to be able to make these dramatic changes. Because in the end, like you said, what do you have to lose now? Because the way you were going actually wasn't working. You had to have this crash to then, come here. If you feel comfortable, describe like how it felt before to how you feel now, because there must have been something that transitioned in that time for you.
Yeah, I think it's a slow. I hear people saying, you know, it's a drastic change and then boom. I think for me, it's a slow process. It's been slow. I think I'm in this transition, of course. Yeah. And I think it's a slow. When I see the progress, sometimes I look back and then I see, oh yeah, actually I did this, I did that, or this happened. But I don't think it's like a big change. I think it went slowly, and the transition came first. It came with health habits, with food. My body just told me basically, you just can't eat that. So I don't know if it's lucky in a way to have the body telling you to stop, because otherwise you just don't. I guess if no one or nothing tells you, you just don't. So healthy habits, food, my guts wouldn't cope if I had dairy, or so all of these changes, and then through also, yes, healing myself with herbs, constantly plants, medicine, and the food in general, what I ingest. And this and it's not a limitation. It's not like, oh, I so want to have this, and I can't have it because it's gonna make me sick. It's actually not that. It's really myself saying, yeah, that's great. If I want to have it, I can, but I also know that I don't want to feel like shit. Sorry for the word, but I don't want to feel like that. So you know what? Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. I'll pass. I know I'm happier about that, about this decision. And it seems natural. It doesn't seem like it's a big effort, but all these changes, I think they just happen slowly when listening to your body, to myself, to my physical body, mainly.
Look, and I agree with you. And I think what I'm hearing too, it is you, and you've also made a choice to want to hear. You also made a choice to want to do this for your body. So many of us, oh, we're busy, we'll just quickly eat this, we'll keep that. So we do keep feeling like shit, because that's what we feel like. But people, I think, feel, is what I loved about you. We feel it's too hard, it's too much effort. In fact, as you said, it's not. And what I loved when we were together on that retreat was you brought in your concoctions, as I call them, or your and the energy of your greens that you'd grown in your garden. There we go. Yeah. And I can't wait to see you again, everyone. I am going to go and see her again, and I'm going to have more of this deliciousness all around me. And we will be putting in later how you can contact Ness. Even if you do live abroad, you can still have contact and see what she's doing, because what I love about what you're doing is you are also, yes, you are showing others how they can, what's the word, themselves, how to do this for themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
And how to enjoy nature for themselves. So you're giving that, you're the segue between, hey, I can do that too, but in my own way.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it's this creative path that I want everyone to be creative, because I think that's what saves us, to be creative, our own selves. You don't need to copy anyone to do anything. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work as a business, and then that's okay. I'll go back to my 9 to 5. But ultimately, I just want to be, I just want to, how do you say that? Be honoring myself. I just want to be honest with myself, and this is the most important thing, is to find that truth. And if I don't have that truth, then I don't want to keep living. It's not worth. It's not worth. I want to be myself, and if I'm not liked the way I am, or if what I do is not, someone doesn't like it, that's fine. I'm not forcing anyone.
No.
But I want to, when I do my workshop, I say, look, this is what you can do if you want to, but you don't have to. This is just an idea.
Yes. And the other thing, when you said that, what I loved is about listening to your intuition. So, because sometimes you're not always sure why you do something or want something, number one. Number two, the other thing that I loved about it was I felt my body come alive. With all that goodness and the energy of nature. It was just amazing. It was just so beautiful. It was like clean. I felt clean.
Yeah. Yes. And
and my body felt clean, but also my intuition, it was body, mind. It was a body, mind, soul experience, including your energy there. It's like, yeah, you really connected me to something deep within that I'd been missing.
Yes. I feel that. And I think that's beautiful. Yeah.
So do I, Ness. I really appreciate it. And I love the way you said about creative path, and it's about being your truth. And it's about giving it a go. It may or may not work, but in the meantime, you are doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
So as we sort of come to the end of this, Ness, what would you like to share just on that last note? What little nugget of, there's so much gold here, but what would you like to share with people before we end?
Yeah, I think what we just said, to follow your truth, whatever makes you happy, and you may whatever makes you happy, and do this thing every day.
Yeah.
Every day you do that thing that makes you happy,
Yeah.
or every 2 days, or every 3 days. I mean, but you got to find that moment to do something and just realize that this brings you happiness. Going walking in the bush, like I do with Pepper, and just connect to a tree, maybe, that, and do this thing every day, because it feels like it's also this. That's something I struggled before, was to commit to something and keep doing it, and not forcing it, just be there because you want to, but also have that, I don't know if that's the word, but discipline to do it every day, because ultimately you see the changes after doing that. When you do it every day, that is what makes you see the difference and the changes in yourself after. And that light that illuminates yourself, your body inside.
That I agree with you. Illuminate, light that illuminates. And I think, coming back to the word discipline, I think initially it is a discipline to create the habit. Then it becomes something natural. And I think also, here we are carrying on, because I just love talking to you, it's also about not feeling selfish, and I was going to say something else as well, but I'd like to finish with you, that luminous light, because exactly right. And it is initially discipline, because we find it hard to do things for ourselves without feeling guilty and selfish.
Yes.
And I think you made a good point. Even if you can't do it every day, do it every second or third day, but just do something for you. That's it, isn't it? Whatever that might be.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, I love it, Nessa. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story and energy with everyone. Would you like to just how can people contact you? And everyone, before, as Ness says, I will also have the link in the description. So Ness, explain where you can be found, where you're sharing your magic.
So at this stage, it is only through our amazing Facebook, because that's where people tend to be. So, and that's where usually people book my workshop. So once a month, twice a month, I do run a workshop. Most of the time now, it's people that invite me to in their garden, and I have a group of people there, and we just advertise a little bit, and people come along and learn how to distill the ancient way with the copper still. Beautiful copper still that I got from Italian mountains, where I come from, this winter. I want to say in Australia it's winter, but it was summer in Europe. So it's called The Art of Plant and Herb Distillation, and on the Facebook is Distillation Workshops. There is an Instagram page as well. We can put these links in. And other than that, yes, I'm just trying to build this beautiful thing that I discovered through the distillation, and at this stage, it's just teaching people how to do it themselves, really, with what they have in their kitchen and in their garden, and the whole sustainability of it as well. How sustainable it would be if one person in a community would do it, instead of going through that mainstream big industries that are distilling for essential oil that are not that sustainable, unfortunately. So yes.
Oh gosh. And to think, even after 30 years, they're still think after, sorry about that, after 30 years, it's still not. I like that. Now, you're not doing anything online at the moment, are you? Your workshops are still face to face? Not yet. That could come. So everyone, keep in touch, because you never know, Vanessa or Ness will or may do this online as well. So, and I think also keep in touch anyhow, because the energy is beautiful and you can adapt it to yourself. I now need to bookend it, because otherwise I'll just keep chatting with you, Ness. So thank you so much, my beautiful friend. Thank you everyone for listening. Any comments, questions, please put them here, and one of us will respond to you as soon as we can. Thank you, Ness.
Thank you, Chantal. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much.
You too.